Hi guys, just to be clear, none of these videos are mine, so credit to all of the creators. Enjoy.
I was always afraid of monsters, especially the monster under my bed. Though whenever I told anyone about it and how unsafe I felt, they'd call me childish and laugh at me. One night, I had a huge fight with my family, and I ended it by rushing to my room, jumping into bed, and completely forgetting about the monster as I fell asleep. The next morning, I woke up with blurry vision and a painful headache. Assuming it was from last night's fight, I hopped out of bed to get some painkillers. As I passed my mirror, I caught a glimpse of red from the corner of my eye. I quickly went back for a second look, and I almost threw up. My clothes were stained with dried blood, and my hands were covered in red. I rushed out of my room to tell my parents, but I stopped dead in my tracks. My whole family, dead on the floor, their soulless eyes wide open. I dashed back to my room to grab my phone and call the police. But my heart dropped when I saw the pistol next to my phone. I froze.
Open the door! Police!
I walked towards the door, trembling in fear as I unlocked it. Cops quickly bolted past me, and I was arrested on the spot.
I heard a blood-curdling scream in there. I thought it was best to dial 911.
I heard my neighbor explain to the cops as I stood there looking pathetic and confused. So now you know my story. What else could you possibly want from me?
Alice, please.
It's Miss Carlton to you, young lady.
Right. Yes, Ms. Carlton. I have to know. Was this monster ever stopped?
Emma Cameron was a famous influencer. She filmed and vlogged on TikTok. She posted get ready with me's and routines on her YouTube channel. Everyone adored and loved her. She was so sweet and kind. Emma loved to party. She partied every weekend. She would party alone and with her friends. Emma was also very popular in school. She had many boys after her, and a lot of girls wanted to be her. She was living a fantastic life. She had family, friends, money, and fame. One day, when Emma was in class talking with her friends, the teacher came in. He announced to the fellow class that there will be a new girl joining the school. Everyone was so excited, and so was Emma. She wasn't worried at all that the new student might take her place. Emma was always gonna be the star. But when the girl entered the classroom, everyone gasped and was so mesmerized by the new girl. Her beauty, her confidence, and her grades were better than Emma's. The new girl, Victoria, was head of the class and became loved very fast. She also started a TikTok account and a YouTube channel. Her accounts blew up overnight. She gained millions and millions of followers, more followers than Emma. She became so popular and known. Emma's friend started to become distant with Emma since she was no longer the queen. Victoria was. All the boys that were after Emma was now after Victoria. Every boy wanted to date her, and all the girls wanted to be her friend. This made Emma so mad and jealous. How dared Victoria take away Emma's spotlight? Later that day, Emma came up with a plan. 2 days later, Emma asked Victoria if she could have a word with her. Victoria happily agreed to talk to her. She pulled Victoria aside and told her, "I'm gonna be the last thing you will ever see."
I'm gonna be the last thing you will ever see.
Victoria was confused and asked her what she was talking about. Emma grabbed out a sharp knife and stabbed Victoria while covering her mouth so no one would hear her screams. She let out an evil laughter. Blood was quickly covering Victoria's uniform as she was dying a painful death. Victoria's body dropped to the floor. 2 days later, Victoria was reported missing. Everyone was so worried, while Emma was so satisfied, knowing that everything she had before Victoria took it away would come back. A mother had a baby, but when she saw it, she already hated the baby because Chlorine didn't look like her mother and was ugly. Even though the mother hated Chlorine, Chlorine still loved her mother. Her mother couldn't get rid of Chlorine no matter what she do, because Chlorine would always come back, so she took Chlorine to look at the sunset. Chlorine loved watching the sunset up high, but then her mother pushed her off the cliff and she didn't make it. But her mother was finally free. But 3 years later, she had another child. When the mother saw it, she was so happy. She loved her so much that she did everything with Chlorine. They were both connected with each other and never left each other. The mother kept her because Chlorine looked like her mother and was beautiful. But one day, she took Chlorine to watch the sunset. They both loved watching the sunset up high. But then Chlorine said,
Mommy, please don't push me off the cliff again, okay?
Wait, what?
Berry Avenue High School was like any normal school. Well, it used to be. One day, I was in English, and all of a sudden, the principal made an announcement on the intercom saying, "Students, this is not a drill. We are going under lockdown. Stay with your classes." This obviously started a commotion around the whole school. In my class, we have a boy named Tyrone. He was the class daredevil. He went outside class to film the drama. Our teacher quickly locked the door before anyone else left to keep us safe. But a couple seconds after that, we heard. This caused some people to have panic attacks in our lesson. I couldn't call the police because I didn't have any credit, so I decided to film just in case. I needed to show the police evidential proof if they did come. So here is the recording. Hey guys, I'm vlogging my school going under lockdown, just in case it could be evidential, because I think people are dying. I'm going to go to sleep because the screams have slowed down a bit. It's currently 3:35 a.m. and I woke up to a voice that sounded like my principal talking to a stranger or member of staff saying, "The other classes are wiped out. This is the last one." All of a sudden, the principal got an axe and started to attempt to break the glass that entered into my classroom. I don't know what to do because the glass won't hold for much longer, and I am really scared. Part 2. As the principal broke the window that led my classroom, I heard a gunshot as I looked. I saw Tyrone stood there with a gun in his hand, and the principal dead on the floor. He came in the class and explained. When he left the class to film, he actually played a sound effect to make everyone scared, and then ran to the abandoned classroom that hadn't been used in years. But as he was there, he heard a student scream, "The principal is killing people." He quickly ran to the reception where they had an emergency box with a gun. Then he broke it and hid in a plant, waiting for the principal to walk past. As she was breaking the window that led to our class, he shot her. everyone started clapping for Tyrone. So I guess this is the end.
I had a best friend named Amy. She was a sweet, caring girl. I loved her, but she had abusive parents that didn't let her do anything, so I didn't really hang out much with her outside of school. She'd come with lots of bruises on her face every day. It broke my heart. She'd talk to me about her abusive parents. The abuse got so bad, to the point where her dream was to become an orphan. She'd also talk about how she always dreamt about going to Paris. I've always wanted to make her dream come true. We grew up together. On my 18th birthday, I got plane tickets to Paris. I was so happy. So finally, I decided to make my best friend's dream come true. Her dream to become an orphan.